Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2017. Today we're going to do a little update on my promoted listings experiment. I'm going to show you and tell you how things are going. We're also going to talk about a number of your comments and concerns on last week's video. Quite a few good comments were left. As you can see, I'm inside today. And it's not because it's cloudy and nasty, which of course it is. I had actually planned to film this one outside. I took all my equipment outside. Tripod, camera, signboard, notes. As soon as I get everything set up, do you know somebody starts a backpack blower right over here, a few houses down, on February the 24th. I waited almost an hour, and this guy is going to make the whole day out of it. So we're back inside. So let's do this. And last week we talked about promoted listings, and I told you I was going to run another experiment, which I have, and it is still ongoing. Approximately 9 days ago, I opted back into promoted listings. And for those of you who do not know what promoted listings are, eBay has a feature that you can opt into if you have a store, an eBay store, where you can promote your items on a sliding scale from 1% up to 20%, which means you will bid anywhere from 1% up to 20% of the final value or fixed price item, and eBay will increase it in search. You will only pay if your item actually sells. You will not pay for clicks or impressions, which is great. All right? You don't have to pay per click. No matter how many people click on your item, you only pay if there's a successful sale. So it does sound very good in theory. I tried it last October and it was an epic fail. I tried it for 6 days and I made only 3 sales. But that didn't concern me. What concerned me was the fact that it seemed to shut my entire store off, whereas I wasn't selling anything. I mean, it was the worst sales week I've ever had. But as soon as I opted back out of the program, my sales kicked in. Everything was great again. Recently, some of my friends on Facebook have been bragging like crazy how they're making insane sales using promoted listings. Some even suggested that my experience was a glitch, that something went wrong. So I decided to try it again. So what we'll do now is we're going to segue to a screenshot that I took of my account earlier, and I'll walk you through it and I'll tell you what's going on. Let's do that now. Here is a screenshot of my 9-day promoted listings campaign so far. Here it says I actually have 5 campaigns running, but that is actually not correct. I only have 2. These 3 are the campaigns I ran back in October, if you remember, the ones that failed. And unfortunately, there is no way to delete a campaign. So I'm stuck with that until they change how it's set up. But anyway, I have actually 2 campaigns running now with a total of 651 active listings involved. In 9 days, I've had over 140,000 impressions, which garnered 456 clicks and 5 sales. The 5 sales generated $353.20. And out of that money, I had to kick $17.67 back up to eBay in commission fees. So that's basically where I am right now. You can see here's when I started the campaign, okay? Today is February the 24th, and of course it hasn't yet populated, but it will later. You can see basically I'm on a steady keel with my impressions. But again, I've only made 5 actual sales in 9 days with promoted listings. Now those are 5 extra sales I wouldn't have made. And I'm not totally dissatisfied with the program because, like I said earlier, my sales have been very, very busy this week. Not so much with promoted listings, but with my other store items. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but I will be carrying on this experiment indefinitely, so I will continue to report to you guys as things progress. You know what time it is, guys? It's time for a drink. Very good. So guys, you saw where I'm at right now. Personally, I think it's lackluster. I did not make that many sales for 9 days, okay, using promoted listings. However, I am making a lot of sales otherwise, unlike last time I ran this experiment. So I am going to continue this experiment indefinitely, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe after a while things will ramp up for me, but they haven't yet. So, I mean, it's only been 9 days, so I don't want to diss the program at this point, but let's just say I'm a little bit disappointed at this juncture. Let us now continue and talk about some of your comments and concerns from last week's video. I had written in and showed you a comment that was sent to another eBay seller, purportedly by a kid, asking for a Barbie doll at a cheaper price. And it seems every one of you guys, just like me, think that was written by an adult trying to get a good deal from the seller. As I said, it's never happened to me in my 18 years on eBay, because I'm in the automotive field. But I know it's happened to some of you guys, so just keep your eye open and always go with your gut when you receive one of those type letters from a potential buyer. I myself received quite a bit of contact from eBay this week again. People asking me questions, lowball offers. I must have received at least 6 unreal lowball offers, none of them which panned out. I did receive one kind of unusual offer, which did pan out. I was selling a lot of 3 items for, let's say, $100. And a guy wrote in and said, Joe, I'm interested in only buying one of the items. Could I have the best one and I will pay you $40? So I thought that was reasonable. So I redid the auction. I split the items up, 1 and 2, and that customer bought the one for $40, and everything worked out fine. So that was good news. Somebody had asked in last week's video about shipping in bad weather. Do I ship in bad weather? Well, it rains almost every day, so yes, I ship when it rains. The only time I will not ship is when we have a heavy snowstorm. I will always avoid driving in the heavy snow. So on that particular time, I will not ship. But eBay claims that when your region has a heavy snowstorm or bad storm of any kind, that they take that into account. Often they even send letters to potential buyers telling them that your shipment may be delayed because of inclement weather. So if it's a storm and you're out of action for 1 or 2 days, a heavy snowstorm, I wouldn't worry about that. Those of you guys using the Seller Hub might have noticed a new and enhanced look this week. They have added some interesting features, including feedback. How many more positive feedbacks you have gotten per day. So go and check that out now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Somebody also had written in about having issues with their iPhone. That when they are on eBay buying on their iPhone, they cannot see certain discounts that certain sellers are offering, including their own discounts. That's what they said. I have heard about iPhone glitches in the past. And that's why I do all my purchases on my MacBook Pro. The only time I'll even consider making a purchase on my iPhone is when I'm somewhere that my MacBook is not accessible and I'm going to be there for a while. Let's say the waiting room in the dentist office. So then maybe I'll pop out my iPhone and go on eBay real quick. Only in those type cases would I consider actually purchasing on the iPhone. Another comment I'd like to address is somebody asked about what I do when sellers do not honor my winning bid or a winning bid of any auction. Luckily, in my 18 years on eBay, I have never purchased an item and had a seller refuse to send it to me because the price didn't go high enough. But I have heard quite a few instances of that happening. What would I do? I would be pissed as hell. And I'm not gonna mince words. I would be pissed. I would contact eBay and I would definitely report that. All sellers should honor their winning bids, bar none. Okay? Please, if you have something and you need a certain amount of money for it, don't start it at 99 cents. Start it higher, near the price you really want for it. Okay? And don't use a reserve auction. I've had nothing but disdain from them since the day I joined eBay. I find them to be disrespectful of the buyer. You see a really good item that's worth $300-400, the guy starts it at 99 cents with a reserve. I don't care what the item is or how badly I want it. I will not bid on that item if there's a reserve. Please, shy away from them. So let's talk about sales now. How were your sales this week? Remember, Monday was President's Day, and I warned you that could be a potential problem, a blip in the radar. Saturday and Sunday, my sales were pretty good. But on Sunday, my sales cut off sharply. I think at about 8 o'clock at night, but don't quote me on that. And then I sold nothing for the rest of Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, and they didn't kick back in till late Monday, around 6 o'clock, I believe. I went almost 24 hours because of freaking President's Day. Exactly what I expected. That is a day where people go out and do two things on President's Day. They either go to the malls or they go to buy a car. Strange as it may sound, a couple of years ago I happened to be in a car dealership right before President's Day, and they had all kinds of balloons and stuff. So I said to the salesman, "What's going on? Is there a party?" He says, "Well, Monday's President's Day." I said, "So what?" And he replied, "That's a day traditionally when people flood the dealerships coming in thinking that they're going to get a bargain on a car. It's our busiest day of the year." That was honestly said to me in a dealership a couple of years ago, and I always kept that in mind, but unfortunately it doesn't trickle down to me. Returns for the week. Guys, I had one return this week. Now, I have no problem taking returns if the item is the wrong size, wrong color, doesn't fit. You know, those are all honest mistakes. But there's one thing that does tick me off a bit. When a buyer buys a hub from me, one, and thinks he's getting four. It happened again. The listing clearly says one. The picture is one. The guy gets it, and he doesn't contact me through eBay. He calls me directly at my store, and he says, "I'm the guy that bought the hubcap from you. You only sent me one." I said, "How many do you see in the picture?" I said to him, "Didn't you clearly see there's one hubcap in the picture and the title clearly says one?" "I didn't pay no attention to that. I didn't pay no never mind to that." That's what he said to me. I said, "Well, buddy, you got to pay attention when you're buying something online." So now that item is coming back to me, and I'm going to have to refund his money and relist it. That is the only thing that does upset me, is when people think they're getting all four and there's a picture of one and it clearly says one. That seems to be prevalent in eBay Motors. It's been an ongoing problem. It used to be a lot worse. It's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. So basically, guys, that's all I'm going to discuss right now. Okay? So you're free to comment on any of the issues I discussed or any other eBay issues you want to discuss. If you're in promoted listings, I especially want to hear from you guys. I'm really amazed and perplexed how some of you are doing so well with promoted listings. You know, I mean, I'm happy for you. I really am. But I have not found that to be the case, as you can see by the screenshot I showed you earlier. So anybody wants to talk about eBay stuff, you know what to do. I'm Crazy New York Driver, you're not. I will see you next Friday right here on the Crazy New York Driver Show. I hope you found this video helpful because I'm out here every Friday trying to help you guys generate sales. I am a seller friend, not a seller critic. Rock on. See you next week. Peace. Yeah!